Hello, hello. This is going to be a short live. Seems like I always um I always go live when people are going live. That's why I want to hurry up and do this real quick. Hey, Black Ubiquity, I need to give you a prize for always being one of the first people here. Hey, Randy, how are you? I seen Mob was live talking about ears, and I was just like, oh, it's some of this stuff. I'm just like, I don't know. I listen to it, but I just get so bored with it. It's just like recycled stuff over and over again. But shout out to Mob and all the content creators that I support that's covering everything that's going on in the sector, and even the ones are not a part of the Kwame Brown sector. Shout out to them. Black Ubiquity. Randy, you're not a mod. I might need to make you a mod. I need for you to put Randy's channel up. So just be patient with you. I'm gonna make you a mod. Hope everybody is doing well today. Let me get here. I'm going to talk a little bit about it's just a really it's a situation where people really like to laugh at the church because I'm gonna be honest with you, it's a lot of comical stuff. What's up, Twister? Good to see you. Oh, okay, let me find where you are, Randy, and get you to put I need you to put Twister uh as a mod. As put his channel in there as well as Black Ubiquity if you can. So I added you as a mod. So hopefully you see it. I hope everyone's doing well. Like I said, I'm not gonna hold y'all long because I know. Thank you for passing through, sweetie. I appreciate you. Again, I'm not going to be here long talking about this, but I wanted to share something with you about no person is better than the next person. They just make better choices, and that goes with some people in life. You'll deal with some people and they say, you think you better than me, or she thinks she better, or he thinks she better, than me or another person. And sometimes it's not so much that a person thinks that they're better. Sometimes it's just the fact that they've made better choices in their life. And when people make better choices with their life, their outcome sometimes is a lot different than the outcome for the person that just kind of did it their way. They did it their way, but it ended up biting them in the butt. All we're all susceptible to making a mistake. We're all flawed, and we all are people that can get caught up in stuff. Even you're welcome, Black Ubiquity. Even those people that are people of the cloth, basically pastors. Hey, 41, how are you? Good to see you. Glad to see you. Even men and women of the cloth, that minister and that are in church. And just to give you a small story, I'm not going to tell you how I'm familiar with some of the Evans family, but I'm very I was I was good acquaintance with the family for a couple of years. I'm not going to say how, but with me being around them, especially Pastor Evans, he was a person, he was very good to his employees. And what I mean by that, he paid well, as well as he paid for all of his employees to have medical insurance and dental. He was also very giving in his community, especially with people that were low income. They had all types of different services to help people with low income, also help them with being able to have different attire to go on job interviews. So he also helped with cleaning up some of the elders in the community that did not have children, helped them to clean their yards. So he had different things at his church that helped, and even the people that worked there. He helped people in a very substantial way, to the point to where um, you felt like he was a giving person and that he cared for other people. But one thing I know for sure, that we can all easily get caught up in stuff, and some things we get caught up in. Um, Sometimes we stay there a little too long, and that can happen to any of us. And I don't care how much you know the Bible, how much you go pray, or you go to church, or how much you chant, or whatever you do. We are all susceptible to making mistakes, and we're all easily to fall. Hey Vetty, what's good? Good to see you, beautiful. And so I kind of seen well, I don't know the situation as far as why he's stepping down, but he's resigning from his position as the head pastor. And he was saying for some past due sins. If you go on Oak Cliff Bible Baptist Church, Oak Cliff Bible Fellowship Church, you will see he has a statement, and I'm gonna be showing you Dawson Speaks TV. Shout out to him. I watch a lot of his commentary. He goes a little bit over his statement of him resigning. Another man that's taking over is Pastor Gibson, and I know Pastor Gibson as well. Pastor Gibson is also a very nice person, from me, from what I know of. He's always willing to help people, and he's helped me in some different situations. So even though I wasn't a member there, I had some affiliations there. I knew a lot of people. I got a lot of family that go to the church, and I wish the best for everybody that goes. And even if you don't believe in church, or you don't believe in whatever, you know, we all can fall into some stuff. You know what I'm saying? We all can get in some situations to where it doesn't put us in the best light. What's up, realist? You watched him too? Oh yeah, I do. I love it. Take a breath. Let me take a breath. So I'm gonna share this with y'all, and see what y'all think about it. Again, this is about Pastor Tony Evans. And like I said, the reason why it was something I want to talk about, because I know these people, not like intimately to the point to where I go to their house or anything, but I know them for being around them in a few years, being around them and being around, that church, and just kind of, watching people and what, certain things that was given to me. And but one thing I will say, we never know what people are behind closed doors. You don't know how I am behind closed doors. I don't know how you are behind closed doors. And I believe that all of us got something, and all of us got skeletons in our closet. Some things will be revealed, and some things won't be revealed until the other side. But at the end of the day, we all got something. Okay, so oh yeah, you awesome, Slim. Oh, okay, yeah, check him out. I'm gonna share this with you guys. Thank you so much for sticking around.
From Dawson Speak TV and D&D
Fair
TV.
use, fair use, fair use for educational purposes.
Thank you for rating, commenting, subscribing, and sharing the videos on this channel. Much love to those who supports channel by donating.
Okay.
Now let's get into this topic. All right, thanks for clicking on the video. Now, this video is for educational purposes, and as I approach this topic with respect, I want you all to please, please, please be respectful in my comment section. Thanks. All right. I hope everyone is doing great, and I hope you all have enjoyed the holiday. I'm looking.
Now, you see the picture on my right. That is Miss Lois Evans. That is his former wife. Unfortunately, she lost her battle to a rare type of cancer in 2019. And they've known each other since they were 18 or 19 years old. Both of them were very young. And she's from what I want to say, it's not New Guinea. It's let me find out, what was that place where Jim Jones took those people and they drank the Kool-Aid. I forgot the name of that place, but anyway, she is from another part of the world, and he went to be a missionary, and that's how he met his former wife, um Miss Lois Evans, which was lovely as well, very cordial, a very polite person. She was one of those people you could go up to her and and have a conversation with her. Some people at church, they kind of funny acting, especially if they got some money and stuff like that. They don't want you out Jonestown, but it was in a place. Hey, Uncle L, it was in a place in Jonestown. It's not New Guinea, or I forgot the name of the place, but they named it Jonestown, but it was in another country. So I forgot the name of it. But anyway, that's where she's from. And this now, his wife died in 2019, his former wife, Miss Lois, and he got married again just recently in 2000. I think it was at the end of 2023, maybe November, December. I'm not, don't quote me on that, but she's a little lot younger than he is. Pastor Evans is 74, and I think his wife here is in her 50s. Okay, so he's remarried. Okay, so I'm just sharing it with you guys.
Looking forward to the new year. I don't know about y'all. Great things are coming. I can feel it. Nevertheless, I have a made up mind to continue to go on and see what the end will be. I also want to thank you all for getting me over 150,000 subscribers in this. But look, I want to thank you all for rocking with me and putting up with my unorthodox opinion at times. I love being a YouTuber and having this platform where I can speak my mind and share with all of you. Now, there's so much going on in the media now. But this particular story I was supposed to talk about last month, and then things came up, so I want to talk about it now. Now, this story comes out of Texas, out there in Dallas. Oak Cliff over there. We've done some stories out of Oak Cliff. And I want... Lord, Dawson, why you got to mention Texas and Dallas? You know what the people want. I know what
why you got to mention Oak Cliff like that? That's where the church is, Oak Cliff Bible.
Oh, but you're going to have to wait. Let me go on. You all know that I have certain pastors that I listen to and some that I like. I mean, they give a good word and presentation and all that stuff. And if you've been watching the show for quite some time, you know that I have some first ladies that I think that are just phenomenal women. And off bat, y'all know who the first one is. Now, come on, y'all know me. The first one that I love, y'all know I am crazy about First Lady Sarita Jakes. She's out there with her husband, world-renowned Bishop T.D. Jakes, out there at the Potter's house. I love some Sarita Jakes, and I'm not taking it back, and I stand 10 toes down on that. And I know somebody's going to say, well, Dawson, I don't agree with you on that, and the whole internet is talking. Look, I stand alone. I don't care what you or the whole internet is saying. There are a lot of things I don't agree with. They drug me down there to see The Color Purple. I don't agree with Suge Avery turning Miss Silly out.
Oh, my.
Miss Silly just wanted to serve the Lord. That's all she wanted to do. That's why she kept saying during the book, dear God, dear God, dear God. She just wanted a closer walk with God.
Get to the point, Dawson.
I know y'all gonna say, well, Dawson, that's not what it's about. Suge gave Silly her heart. Yeah, right.
Okay, let me fast forward this foolishness.
She gave her her hot pocket. Let me go on. Y'all know it's true. And then they
Okay, Dawson.
in August of this year to ever happen again. Loretta.
Do you know this person, Noel Jones? He's Grace Jones' brother. Y'all remember back a few years ago, it was called Preachers of LA. Noel Jones was on there, and he was at the time dating, or they were friends or something. This lady here, I forgot her name, but they were longtime friends, and he would never claim her. But all of a sudden now they have gotten engaged and married. So I guess she warmed down.
Loretta Jones you need to get up in front of that church and make it known that this is the woman you pick, because some of them women in there, they ain't got it. All right. Now I know you in the security team. From what I heard, y'all done got together, and Loretta's still coming to church. She cool, calm, and collect. And y'all saying that ain't gonna never happen again. But you need to let them. You need to let them people know. Oh, they better not put their hands on my first lady again. Now let me calm down. Let me get serious on this one. Now, you all know that another first lady, some of you may know, some of you may not, but I'm going to tell you now that I loved was the late Lois Evans, who I call my YouTube sister. She had her own YouTube show where she displayed such style, such grace, and elegance. I miss Lois, y'all. I really do. I miss Lois. And talking about this kind of, it reminds me of other things too. Y'all know.
This is her daughter here, Priscilla Schreier, Priscilla Evans Schreier. She's also a national speaker as well. She travels around the world, basically, but especially here in the States. And this is Miss Lois. Like I said, she died in 2019.
But that brings me to this topic.
Hey, Slim.
Now, many of you all are familiar with Pastor or Dr. Tony Evans of Oak Cliff Bible Fellowship out in Texas. And some of you may remember when he announced his engagement to Dr. Carla Crummy a few months ago during a Sunday service. Now, when Dr. Tony Evans made that announcement, some people in the congregation clapped. They were happy. However, some of the members sat there with a somber look on their faces because they still miss Lois Evans. Now, along with making the announcement of his engagement on that particular Sunday, he also paid tribute to his late wife, Lois Evans, who made her transition a few years ago. Now, when Dr. Evans made his announcement, he was accompanied on stage by his 4 children. We all know she's like one of the top female women preachers, along with Pastor Sarah Jakes. They're in the top 20. Priscilla Schreier right there. We know her. And we know Anthony Evans Jr. And we know Crystal Evans Hirsch. She also has her YouTube channel. And his other son, Jonathan Evans. Now, when I saw the video of Dr. Tony Evans and his 4 children on stage when he made that announcement to the congregation about his engagement to Dr. Carly Crummy, the children didn't seem happy. As a matter of fact, they seemed melancholy while standing on stage with him. Now, Dr. Tony Evans is 74 years old, and some members of the congregation probably thought that he would just remain single and serve the Lord for the rest of his life. However, Dr. Tony Evans desired to be married again, and that's okay. Now, I know that there are some people out there who will say, once you get in your 70s and your 80s and 90s and beyond, you shouldn't be thinking about never. With all of these pills, protein shakes, skin creams, and cosmetic surgery, some of these people in their 70s, 80s, and 90s and beyond are looking and feeling better than ever. I mean, it's like a Motown rejuvenation. It ripped out the plastic. They're acting new. I mean, it's like what the late, great Joan Rivers just said. You have to look good. Get everything done. All know Joan Rivers. And I mean, look at my bishop, Bishop Noel Jones. He married Loretta when he was 71 years old. Now he's 73. He's just a year younger than Dr. Tony Evans. And a lot of you all, when I did, videos on my bishop, y'all were saying, oh, Loretta wasted her time. Oh, she's just going to be his nurse. She's going to change his diaper. He's in his 70s. Come on, y'all. That ageism, just stop. and they're doing just and Bishop Loretta doing just fine. Being living with a man who's never put a ring on your finger. So you talk with God about that. Let me go on. Let me get off that real quick because I know I done started something, but who cares? Now, I know it's all about finding love at a legal age with someone you can spend every stage of your life with. Like I said, Pastor Tony Evans, 74 years old, he desired to be married again. And I don't see anything wrong with that. Questions that some people had online, posts I read and on different videos, and most of those people were women, and I want to talk about it. Now, the question came up that in most cases, not all, but in most, women will wait years or even decades before remarrying again, if they ever remarry, after their first husband has made his transition. However, when it comes to some men, they usually don't take long to remarry. And I agree with that 100%. In most cases, men often tend to move on faster than women. And I'm sure we all know that to be true in most cases, not all cases. If we all got down in the comments, we could tell the story of a woman that we all know, in our lives, family member or friend who lost their husband and never remarried again. However, on the flip side, we can tell the story of a man or men we know who lost their first wife and they're probably on their second or third marriage by now. And let me put this out here. I know Dr. Tony Evans did wait a couple of years before he decided to marry his new wife. Now, just remember, these are some of the comments I saw. Asking, how long should one wait after a divorce or transition of a spouse before you get into a What up, y'all? It's your guy Dawson from D&D TV. Thank you for rating, commenting, and subscribing. Please be respectful in my comment section. Thanks. Now, Dawson Speaks TV does not discriminate on the basis of race, color, gender expression, age, national origin, disability, marital status, sexual orientation, military status, or political affiliation. Oh, man. Golly, what's going on in the Lord's church? Jeez. I guess of flesh and blood I'm made. I'm only human, born to make mistakes. And that's what's going on over in Dallas, Texas. Now look for the people out in Texas. I know that I've been covering a lot of stories out in Texas this year and the end of last year because a lot of the leaders out there have been in the media. That's not my fault. And I try to get away from Texas, but it seems that there's always something there to remind me. There's another 80s song that there's a story to do. So let's get into it. Popular megachurch pastor, author, and speaker Dr. Tony Evans is out of the pulpit, and many people want to know why. Now, many of you all know that Dr. Tony Evans is the senior pastor of Oak Cliff Bible Fellowship in Dallas, Texas, where he has served for nearly 50 years, and his church services are often aired on Christian television. Pastor Dr. Tony Evans recently got married in 2023 to Dr. Carla Crummy. And we all know that before this current marriage, he was married to Lois Evans, who unfortunately made her transition years ago. And I did a video on that, and I explained to you all how much I loved and I miss Lois Evans. She was my YouTube sister. Now, recently in the news, Pastor Dr. Tony Evans has announced that he's stepping down due to sin. This has shocked many in the Dallas area and definitely his supporters, which are worldwide. Now, Dr. Tony Evans and his leadership team announced Sunday, June 9th, 2024, he has stepped down from his pastoral duties after admitting to falling short of high standards of Scripture. Now, in a statement released on the church's website, Pastor Dr. Tony Evans states, a number of years ago, listen to that, y'all. A number of years ago, I fell short to apply the same biblical standard of repentance and restoration to myself that I have applied to others. Now, before I go on, I have to let you all know that Dr. Evans nor the church leadership team shared the specifics of what attributed to the decision for Pastor Evans to step away from ministry. Let me continue. Now, Dr. Evans states, I have shared this with my wife, my children, and our church elders, and they have lovingly placed their arms of grace around me. While I have committed no crime, he wants y'all to know he has not committed a crime, but he did not use righteous judgment in his actions. Statement continues, in light of this, I am stepping away from my pastoral duties and I'm submitting to the healing and restoration process established by the elders. This will afford me the needed time of spiritual recovery and healing. He went on to say, during this time, it is crucial that the ministry of OCBF continues as vibrantly as ever. Remember, you serve the Lord Jesus Christ, not man. Let me say that again. Remember, you serve the Lord Jesus Christ, not man. Thank you for saying that.
How many people actually put pastors and bishops and priests on a pedestal? How many people do that? And they are so easily, they're so disappointed when things happen. I think a lot more than not. And what we have to understand is, even though they should live on a higher standard because they are a person in leadership and they are over a flock, you know. And when I say flock, I mean a congregation, you know. There's people that's following them and seeking guidance, and pastors, preachers, all they, you know, they should live on a higher standard. But you cannot put people on a pedestal. That's where you will get disappointed every time. Anytime you put, and I'm pretty sure that there's people in his church, in his congregation, that has put him on a pedestal. Some people will stop believing in God just because of this. But he is basically scripturally, in Galatians, it says, brothers, if anyone is caught in transgression, you who are spiritual should restore him in the spirit of gentleness. Keep watch over yourself, lest you be tempted. So that's why you have to be careful about judging other people, because you could be tempted with that exact same thing. So we don't know, which I think that, since he said it wasn't any crime, but I still think, due to the fact that, not for people to know your business, but with his congregation, I do think it would be wise to maybe say maybe what it could be if it's not too much. But then some people say it's none of your business. But and the reason why I say it would probably be best to do that, for the simple fact, you have so many people speculating, so much gossip, and then, you know, with him doing this, some people think it's blackmail. So that's why I said some things I think it should be good to put out there on what exactly it was, so that people can run and, you know, run with the information and make it what they want to. But that's just how I see it. But some people keep their things private, which is understandable too. It's just that with him being a leader, there's going to be a lot of people in his congregation going to be questioning what actually happened, what's going on, you know, because you have some people that are not strong and they're weak minded. And what I mean weak minded is they lose faith, or they you know, start losing faith in God because they put a man on a pedestal when you should never put a man on a pedestal. Not your mama, daddy, anybody in this life, because people will disappoint you.
Dr. Evans. And he concludes with, as we continue to walk this journey together, keep your eyes on Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith. Now, remember, you all can go over to Oak Cliff Bible Church's website and you can read the entire statement over there, all right? Now, a lot of people in his congregation, as well as his supporters, are probably rightfully so, because we've never heard anything publicly negative about Pastor Dr. Tony Evans in over 48 years of his ministry. But also, we know that we really don't know what anyone does in their private life, especially when no one is watching. Therefore, you have to focus on your own relationship with God.
Right.
Now, look, as the story gets out, because the news outlets are already talking about it, as well as people on social media, some may say this makes the church look bad or leaders look bad. And I will say to that, no, this does not. This is what Pastor Dr. Tony Evans brought to the light about a sin he committed a number of years ago, as he stated. And I know some people may say, well, Dawson, people talk so bad about the church, that's why people don't want to go. Nonsense. Snap out of it. There are a lot of us that live in certain cities, and there's a hospital or a clinic in that city, and we tell our family members or friends that if something ever happened to me, get me to a hospital, but don't take me there. That's the same thing with some of these churches. There are some churches you don't want to go to because people are doing egregious things, and it's hurting the congregation. It doesn't mean it's all churches. It just means that one. So if I'm in need of help, take me to a church, but don't take me there. That's all people are saying. Intellectual individuals should be able to differentiate one pastor's behavior from another. I don't believe that all pastors are having extramarital affairs, or they're stealing the church's money, or having inappropriate interactions with youngins in the church. However, there are those that do. And I believe that when you are hurting people in your church, whether the abuse is physical, mental, emotional, sexual, financial, it needs to be brought to the light to protect people from you. From you. Not all pastors, but from you. Now, let me say this. Dr. Tony Evans, nor the elders of the church in that statement, they did not say what the sin he committed a number of years ago was. Now, when one does not state what they did, listen to me, it leaves the congregation and his supporters and also other people to speculate. Did you step out on your wife? Did you steal money? Do you have a gambling addiction? Whatever. I mean, people want to know the exact reason as to why you're stepping down. Well, Dawson, that's between him and the good Lord. That's between him and God. Yeah, sure. That's a very churchy thing to say. But your congregation, your family, and your supporters are affected when you as a leader fall from grace.
Yeah.
Now, having a mega pastor stepping down without giving a reason as to why he's stepping down, it's nothing new for us. We all remember a couple of years ago, the late Apostle Frederick K.C. Price, his son, Dr. Frederick K. Price Jr., who is the pastor over at Crenshaw Christian Center, the Dome over there, when he stepped down because of personal misjudgments. And even though that's been years ago, there are still people, a lot of people, who wonder, what was the personal misjudgment? Now, look, pastors and you pastors, if stepping down or having personal misjudgments is because you are a serial cheater, you're stealing the church's money, having inappropriate interactions with youngins at the church, because that's a lot of that going around, or you're intentionally hurting people in your congregation, I don't want you as my pastor, and I'm sure a lot of other people will say the same. Well, Dawson, that's why you go through the restoration process. Oh, yes, that may be true. But if I don't know what you did and you happen to backslide, you may be putting other people in harm's way.
So do you guys agree with that? That's kind of what I was saying in a way, but he elaborated on it even more. I know if you ever go, if any of you guys even want to research this or whatever, but I know in 1 Timothy 5:19, the elders actually in the new church, in the beginning, before the followers were even named Christians, they had the elders of the church. The elders were the ones that was supposed to remove the pastor if their behavior was inappropriate, or they feel like they were misusing their position as a pastor or a leader, bishop, or whatever, the elders of the church. Basically, those are people like the deacons. Y'all ever heard of the deacons? Those are basically, the deacons, or anybody that is has a a high position in the church, would usually remove the pastor if there was any uh, inappropriate behavior. And sometimes the wisest thing for if you have been caught in some situations that could be detrimental to your congregation, or even to your family, or even to yourself, your behavior. Sometimes it is best to remove yourself and resign. So maybe he's trying to get out of the way of maybe something that may be coming up. A lot of times in life, some of the things we do, um, good or bad, but usually bad, will in some ways be exposed, and we have to deal with the consequences behind that. Again, this is the reason why you shouldn't put yourself, or no one should put themselves higher than you and say that you are better than other people, or think somebody else is better, because we are all human beings, and some of us don't make the right decisions. That's the only thing that separates us. Some make good decisions and some make bad decisions. And those bad decisions, just like good decisions, alter your life. Okay. So your decisions that you make, it actually will steer you either in the right direction or the wrong direction. And it doesn't matter if you are bishop of 5 churches, if you're a priest of the cathedral in Rome, or whatever. You're going to have to answer for everything you do. And the good and the bad is going to always meet you where you are. So you have to be very cautious that you're trying to make the best decisions. Not all the time. I ain't gonna make them. I'm just not, because we're infallible human beings, and I hope I'm saying it correctly. But we are gonna make some mistakes, okay? And some things we do because we feel like we can get away with it. Let's just be honest. And maybe at the time where he was, even though he knew what was right, he, as being you know, besides him being the pastor, he was Tony, you know. And so Tony made some decisions that he's probably not proud of course, right? He made some decisions that maybe altered his life, or maybe will in the future, or maybe alter someone else's life. So he has to give an account for that, just like we have to give an account for the things that we do, good or bad. So, like I said, you can't put people on the pedestal, and you can't put yourself on the pedestal, because at the end of the day, it's about the decisions that you make. Okay, that makes you different from the other person. It's not because of your title or the family that you came from, or how much money you had. Your decisions make or break your life. And so and it doesn't stop when you become a pastor. Okay, it doesn't stop when you become a leader or a parent, or you have a supervisor position at your job, or you're making a lot. It doesn't stop. You're always going to have to make decisions. That's what separates you from uh, your life from another person. Do you know it's a person that had the same opportunities as maybe another person, and that person will take a different detour, and this person will get on drugs. They will start doing committing crimes. They'll start doing all kinds of negative things over here. Then you have the other person over here. They decided, I'm going to finish high school. I'm not going to college, but I'm going to do a trade. I want a family. They go and get a family. They decide in their life that they want to do other things and travel in their life, and things have happened in their life, just like things have happened in this other person's life, but they've made different decisions that altered them and directed them to different ways in this life. And that's basically what, our decisions make or break us. And I hope that I'm making sense. But it is our decisions make us, and they can definitely break us to the point to where we we are not a success in life. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's not always circumstances. Sometimes it's because of what our choices were at the time. Selena, if you don't know about Micah Miller and her pastor husband, JP, is an interesting case worth looking up. Yeah, I did see it. And I felt like that pastor, her husband was he was probably emotionally and verbally abusive to her. I don't know if he was physically abusive to her, but she seemed to me she probably already was dealing with some mental situation going on, maybe some mental illness in some ways, and maybe some depression. She already was dealing with depression and stuff like that. So, and then when you have a husband that is not nurturing, and you have a husband that is, you know, verbally or emotionally abusing you, and maybe physically. And I want to say allegedly on that because I don't know for sure. But you will find out that that will drive a person into a, I would say, in a position to where they kind of lose their mind in a way. And what I mean by that is sometimes depression, and can be so horrible, to where people feel like they would just rather not be here anymore. And so when you have people that have experienced that, from being abused in any way by their significant other, and it's a continuous thing, it can really wear on a person's mind and heart. You know what I'm saying? Especially someone that's supposed to love you. So abuse is I've heard of police abusing their wives. I've heard of pastors abusing their wives. Abuse doesn't have a particular face color, on it. It's just some men are very abusive by nature, and abuse is a lot of different ways of a person, and not just men, women too. There's women that are like that too. But that young lady, I think, was dealing with a lot of depression and anxiety. And unfortunately, because she didn't have a husband or someone there that was nurturing, someone she could talk to, she took measures into her own hands. And like I said, decisions can alter your life. Just like this decision that she had, instead of leaving him, and in my mind, but see, you don't know what people are going through. So I can't really say, oh, I would do this because I'm not her. I'm, and then too, I know me, but then again, I've never been in that situation. So maybe she felt like she couldn't leave. Okay. But I'm just saying, that decision that she made, that's a permanent decision to a temporary problem. You see how decisions can alter your life? This woman, she unalived herself because she couldn't take it anymore. She couldn't take it anymore. And when she couldn't take it anymore, she just said, I'm done. Instead of her getting her stuff and making plans, having a plan on how to get out, finding different ways to so she can get somewhere safe and moving on with her life, she decided to unalive herself. And yes, you're right. People do hide things well, especially people that have a little money. Some people that are in the churches. A lot of people hide mental illness in churches. They're depressed. They have a lot of anxiety and they hide it. And then you'll find out that they unalive themselves. Like I said, every decision we make, whether small or big, it can sometimes alter your life, especially those big things, those things that can really make or break you. So let me go on because I talk and get on another tangent.
Man, I mean, am I wrong for thinking that way? Let me know. Get down in the comments. Let me know. That's just how I feel about it. Now, remember, you all, according to Pastor Dr. Tony Evans, whatever this was, it happened a number of years ago. A number of years ago, as he stated. Obviously, it's something that was heavy on his mind, and it's been haunting him all this time, and he wants to be free from the guilt and the shame of that particular sin, whatever that was. There are those who will say it's good that he's stepping down. But is this stepping down just because it's convenient to do so now? Because according to his statement, this happened a number of years ago. Some individuals will ask, why didn't you step down then, Pastor Dr. Tony Evans? Now I'm off of this, but I want to know what you all think about this situation. And also, would you all need to know exactly what your pastor or leader did if they surprisingly tell everyone that they're stepping down for a season due to something that happened a number of years ago, or that they had personal misjudgments? Or are you?
I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm nosy. And I'll be praying for you, but I'm nosy too. I want ain't none of my business, and I can't do nothing with the information but pray for you. But I'm nosy, so I'll probably be wondering. I wonder what he did, and I still do wonder, what. Not from my understanding, Alpha. He has not spoken besides the statement that he wrote on his website. So I think he did preach that Sunday, and then he ended up saying that he was resigning. But anyway, I don't know for sure, so don't quote me on that. I need to ask some of my family members that go there. But he definitely did put it in the website so people can actually go on his website and check all the statement. But I think it's kind of vague, but I think it's because he wants to keep it private. But it is maybe a situation. It could be, yeah, he do kind of favor Steve Harvey. It could be maybe somebody trying to blackmail him. I don't know. Like I said, the times that I've dealt with him or his family, they've always been very pleasant people. Hey Kevin, how are you? They've always been very pleasant people. Um, and to be honest with you, I didn't see this coming, and I'm pretty sure his congregation didn't see it either. Like I said, he's 74 years old, so he's lived a lifetime, really. He's, like I said, been pastoring for 50 years. So he has, it's really unfortunate. So I don't know what exactly he did. I kind of guess, but I'm not going to speculate or put any gossip out there because I don't know. I just pray the best for him and his family. Um, and that's just the way I'm gonna leave it on that. But this is why I said you can't put people on a pedestal. And so the people that put Tony Evans or any other pastor on the pedestal, you're going to be disappointed, because just like them, even though we won't and we think that they should live on a higher standard, they are people. And at the end of the day, they're going to say, well, I'm only human. Just like what we going to say when we sin or do something crazy. I'm only human. Okay. And this is not an excuse. This is just what we as humans, we do. And that's what we say. And at the bottom line, we are only human. And but some, but then at the same time, like I told y'all earlier, we still know right from wrong. I'm gonna put my link in the chat. Anybody that would like to come up and maybe talk about this or anything else, as far as no person is better than the other. Again, I always keep saying that. But we just, as different people, we make different choices. And I got that from a friend of mine that because I was telling her about how some people think I'm trying to be better, and then she was letting me know it's not so much that you think you better, you just make different choices. And that was the reason for this live, because it's like nobody needs to be put on the pedestal. Nobody needs to be seen as if they're better or less of a sinner than the other. I just think that sometimes we make choices that can put us in a good light or a bad light, and it's up to you. on how you maintain yourself. Look up and don't look around. Ain't that the truth, Commander? I'm telling you, and that's just the bottom line. When we are always looking to a man or a woman, uh, we gonna mess up each and every time. You know what I'm saying? Because we taking our eyes off of who we need to keep our eyes on. Number one, we need to look in that mirror and look at ourselves. Because like I said, we all are capable of making these mistakes. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you guys for coming through. Uh oh, it's a lot going on. So if anybody would like to hit my link, you're more than welcome. If not, I'm going to exit stage left. Like I said, this was going to be a very short live. I just wanted to kind of go through this. I wanted to kind of go through this because I think a lot of people forget that nobody, I mean, nobody, you can put on a pedestal. And your choices really do affect everything you do sometimes. And people don't even realize it. People don't realize that their choices um, really affect people or affect themselves, you know. Um, like I was telling y'all about the situation where it's like, why are people not, they don't pay attention to the things that they do? Like I was telling y'all about the how one person can choose to do drugs and the other person can do something totally different. They all make that choice. They've made a choice because we're gonna live free will. That's just what life is, free will. We all have it, you know, and your choices will definitely affect you. I think I put the link in. Did I put the link in the chat? I think I did, but maybe I didn't. Anybody would like to come up, you are more than welcome to come up on my platform. Sorry, this is not a Selena's couch where I'm having a lot of drama. But I'm learning on to go to a different route than that's less traveled. So I'll just say that. But if nobody wants to come up, I see Garrett Chavez, he live. I tell you, I go live at the worst time sometimes. Every time I think I'm hitting a live a good time, then I find out I did wrong. So but yeah. So what y'all think about that? Do y'all have any like things to say about that, or y'all just gonna let me talk? But I'm glad that you guys came through on this. Like I said, I wish Pastor Evans the best, him and his family. They might not ever see this live, but I do hope that something good's gonna can come out of this. And a lot of times when we are not in the right order in our life, or when we're not aligning to the right will for us, sometimes things happen to get us back on track. So just because he resigned, maybe this is the time where he can be really deal with whatever he did, because at the end of the day, we all have consequences, good or bad, on what we do. And sometimes he might, at this point in his life, he might have to step back and deal with the consequences at hand. And then after he deals with those consequences, he can maybe come back and be restored into his congregation. You just never know. Sometimes God will have to get your attention in the most unusual ways. And when he comes to give you that wake up call, you better answer it, because if you don't, you in a world full of trouble. You in a more trouble, than you were before, because he gave you a warning. You need to stop here. And some people don't stop. They just keep going and going and going. And then they find themselves in a rut. They find themselves in a sunken place. And I think before, even though he's 74 years old, and he has lived a long time and been through a lot of things, he still maybe to if we believe that God is the father of the universe, then we are his children, right? Some of us are his children. So he's going to treat Pastor Evans just like a child, just like you are. If you are a child, if you believe in God, if you have a relationship with God, you are a child of God. And he treats you just like a child. And sometimes in life, we're going to have to get those little hard spankings because we didn't take heed to the warning. And that's the scary part. If he's giving you a chance to not go to deal with the situation where you won't have to go into those hard consequences, take that chance, take that opportunity to get it correct. Because if you don't take it, you just never know what road you can go down with when you make the wrong decisions. Like I said, warning comes before destruction, and that's for us all. And I really do hope that y'all got something out of this. I hope that you press the like button, as well as, if you're not a subscriber, that you would like, share, and subscribe, and always push the notification button. Tomorrow I am going live at I think 7 o'clock, and I was like, dang, the Mavericks but they haven't been doing too good. I don't know what's going on with them, but it's not looking too good for the Mavericks. I'm a little worried, but um, they will be going live tomorrow at 7:30, but I'm going live at 7. So I know some of y'all maybe basketball fans too. But me and Dominic will be joining me on tomorrow. We'll be talking a little bit about the microchip that is going to be coming out, to where people are going to be required to get the microchip. It's just like with the C-19. I think they were getting us ready for that through getting that vaccination. And so this is going to be something biblical, because if you know about the mark of the beast, you can't buy or sell food. So if this is coming up, we in some bad shape. I'm just going to tell you, for those who don't want to get a microchip. So we're going to be talking about that on tomorrow. So guys, I hope that you will come back and be a part of that live. Like I said, it's getting scary out here. I was talking about earlier about how people they're just getting more and more uncaring, and they don't care. So that's just how it is, and that's what, and so things are going to get worse and worse. So yeah, it is something else. And also, you can join my membership, as well as you can always send me a super chat, as well as a Cash App, Selena Star. I'm not begging, I'm just putting it out there. But I would have, if you can, I appreciate it. If you don't, I still appreciate you coming through and pressing the like button and subbing up to me. So thank you for your participation. Guys, I guess I will see you later. Nobody wanted to come up. So I guess everybody's a scary cat today. So that's all. That's good. But like I said, just be careful about the decisions you make, as well as me being careful about the decisions I make. And remember, nobody is better than you. It's just the decisions that you make that set you apart from the other person. That's the only difference. The decisions you make set you apart from another person. And that's just point blank. So, guys, you be blessed. And remember, if nobody else didn't tell you today, Selena loves you to Reese's Pieces. Hope you guys be blessed, and tell more people about me. I'm trying to get up to 2,000, hopefully by the end of the year. So, help a sister girl out. If you could share, if you're a content creator, you can share my channel. I share plenty of people's channels. So I ask that you will share, like, and subscribe. Love you to Reese's Pieces. Bye.